This is the bass that Prince ordered after he'd received my guitar. I'd built this guitar a long time ago, the G1 Purple Special, with the idea of getting it to Prince. It took a long time to achieve that, but eventually it happened. And very shortly after receiving the guitar, sort of a matter of days really, he was in touch to ask if I could make a bass like the guitar. He died so sadly very shortly after he ordered the bass. It continued as a commission, and I continued to work on it, and it became more and more elaborate, I guess. It had started off as a reasonably basic project. I'd had very little feedback in terms of the exact specification, but I knew that he wanted the bass to be like the guitar, so I decided that it had to be as close as I could achieve. So not having done this before with the bass, I carried over a lot of the processes from the guitar and replicated them with the bass. So it's really as close as a match for the guitar as I could achieve. I mean, many of his guitars were creations either by him or it's very closely linked with him or his tastes. So the cymbal guitar, the cloud guitar were designs that he'd worked on. Whereas I obviously came in sort of from the outside with the G1, and the fact that he accepted it and obviously liked it was a massive boost to me, and it's so special, because he hadn't had any hand in the process. But I suppose throughout my having been in business for 20 odd years, really right from the start, people were saying that's the sort of guitar that Prince would play, which is possibly what pushed me into coming up with that purple one and trying to get it to him. So yeah, it's a very exciting thing to do. But yeah, the bass was obviously slightly different because he commissioned that. I wasn't just offering it to him, but all I could really offer were my designs that I already had, and the G3 was the obvious one. So it was just a case of trying to make it as much like the guitar as I could, really.